Hello, welcome. And can you believe it's been 2 years since I started my independent artist journey making music? There's been a lot of ups and downs, and with the whole rise of AI, they're taking my job. What am I even doing here? But before we get into all that, let's just kind of recap things that's been going on. So from last year to this year, there wasn't a lot of musical creation going on. I really only released one song, but over that year, I actually went a different route to try to build up an audience here on the channel to basically, try to promote my music and try to get the music out there. So I made actually a lot of guitar review videos, a lot of different shorts, a lot of different things. So it's been a productive year as far as making YouTube content, but making music content, not so much. And then just recently, I released an EP of the last 4 songs, just because it's kind of more in the style that I gravitate towards. So that was fun. So I've been actually spending a lot of time trying to promote that as of this video, and I've learned a lot of things about that. And I learned a lot of things about me. So one of the biggest things I found with this whole music thing is really trying to get, honest opinions from people. So you're gonna have the people who know you, who are gonna be like, oh, yo, it sounds good, you've been making good music, you've been doing it, but it's still really hard to get information from them. And then you can ask coworkers and stuff like that, but when you're asking people who know you, they aren't gonna tell you this is horrible. So you're like, this is, I'm doing pretty good. Because one of the big issues I had too is I didn't really know my sound. Like what genre am I even in? Because I'd go, yeah, I'm definitely inspired by punk rock, but it's not all punk, and it was very hard to do that. So what I did, there are services out there where you can kind of, talk to, curators and industry insiders and stuff. So I actually went down that route semi-recently to kind of get an idea of who I am. So basically, my music, to sum it up, and how I position myself now moving forward, is basically I make music inspired by 90s and 2000s punk and alt rock. And I say inspired by because I'm not going to claim to necessarily be anything. I'm just making music I really enjoy. But it does bring up the brand thing. What am I trying to go towards? What type of music am I going for? What is my look? Because I don't even have a cohesive look. And I really am doing this for my own fun, because I actually have a career and, I can take care of the family and do all that. I definitely try to distinguish the brand and myself. I don't want to be dad rocker or dad vibe rocker. I don't want that pity. I don't want that associated with it. That's just me personally. And then to go back to talking to those industry insiders and all that, it was actually very positive. They were able to give me that direction of kind of, where I sit kind of musically, and a lot of positive feedback on song structure. Musically, it sounded good. But really the main thing that I could kind of pick out, and it wasn't everyone, because some people liked my voice, was that, hey, you need to sing with more confidence in your voice. You need to really go for it. And that's kind of hard, again, when you have a house full of people and you don't want to just sit there screaming. But again, a productive year. I did a lot of YouTube stuff. I basically now I'm going to have more of a brand identity. I learned about where I should be advertising to and marketing, because at first, let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of wasted money and a lot of wasted stuff. When I first started this 2 years ago, I remember I did this Road to Rock series that's now been defunct, and I have kind of hid those videos. But basically, it was I'm going to have, 1,000 Spotify followers. I'm going to have all these YouTube people. And let me tell you what, no. A lot harder than you think, because there's so many people competing in this music space. You really have to stand out. And again, my big detriment is I don't do live shows. So I'm not getting that kind of local recognition and all that fun stuff. I am doing some stuff with some marketing stuff that might help with that, but it's going to be a long-term thing, and I just kind of started it, and I just have to honestly just make more music. Big thing is, need music to back up anything I'm doing. But this AI stuff, really, we got to draw the line in. Because there's this Suno platform taking off right now. They're making deals with music groups to basically, use the song catalogs to basically learn how to write songs and do stuff. But you got to remember too, it's only learning what it already knows. It's not necessarily creating anything new. It's just taking stuff that it already knows and then packaging it kind of together. So it's not really being this groundbreaking thing, but it is going to lead to being you're going to have Nirvana, then AI Nirvana. You're going to have the Beatles, the AI Beatles. And then that's how you're going to distinguish right between them. Oh, well, I'm listening to this. Oh, they came out with something new. But the thing is, anyone's going to be able to write those songs. And now for me, just with the family, and then sometimes not having the focus I need, it can take like 4 months to release one song. So I really got to sit down and start banging them out, but I'm waiting till I talk to someone about music, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I make music, and they're like, well, how many albums you got? And I'll be like, well, we don't really have an album, I'm working on one. And they're like, dude, I release an album like every other day. And I'm like, how is that possible? Suno, AI, pretty big deal. You want to listen to them? And I'm going to go, absolutely not. And I think that's the stance of society in general. The moment someone says, I used AI, I did this, I did that, we got to go, you know what? I don't want to be a part of it. And don't get me wrong, AI is a wonderful tool to help with things, but I never actually do it for music. The moment they try to suggest a song line to me, do this, do that, no. And I know it's a big thing for industry people because it's easy, right? To go, oh, I kind of got a song demo going on. Let me, strum a guitar and sing, and okay, put it in the AI. Okay, they'll put some drums and bass, and now we kind of have a demo for a song that we take into the record company and they can listen to it. However, though, we also got to draw the distinction too. This is going to be for established acts already, or people who are affluent and have money who can do that. Now, some Joe Schmo like me off the street, I can go AI something and go to a record company, listen to this, I got a demo. And they're going to go, we don't know you. Do you have money? Do you have a famous person who can vouch for you? Because if you don't, you're not getting in here. You're going to be with all the other John Smiths out there, all those AI artists out there. You're going to be put in that pool, and that's going to suck. And it does suck, and it's already happening. But again, AI is just something I hope we can overcome at some point, especially in the music scene, because I'm sure there's been music stuff in the past too, right? Oh, well, now we got all these bedroom artists. They got DAWs and software and all this at their fingertips. Oh, that's going to kill the music industry. And it doesn't necessarily kill it. It gives just a big market to other people to do it. So it's just very hard for you to get seen and get known. And now I know this isn't going to be anything where I'm going to get rich off of it or make a bunch of money, but I want people to hear my music and just the art I'm creating. But again, I have to even compete with other people to do that. And yes, I do get a lot of joy from it. But again, as someone who likes to create, you want to bring joy to people creating things. So being in this weird market where it's very hard to do, it can get very discouraging. I'm just going to keep going with it. And, maybe one day I will try to perform live and do something. But overall, thanks for watching the video. I know I kind of rambled on there. Got some new music in the works. Like I said, I made 5 songs. I kind of get the recording process down, so I'm hoping for just some better production. But again, going for that kind of, 90s, 2000 punk alt rock. I don't need to be overly polished. That's not the stuff I'm going for personally. So keep a lookout for that. And then later this month, I'm actually going to put out a video of my first and only live concert that I performed with my buddy 20 years ago at just some hall that was rented out for this. And it was more of kind of a punk show, and we ended up playing pop songs. And yeah, we'll have more analysis on that video. That's going to be a fun one. Take a look out for that. That'll probably be out near the end of December. Anyways though, thanks for checking this out. If you're new here and you want to see more stuff by me, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, and do all that. If you're old here and you've already been subscribed, just keep watching, and thanks for the support. I'll see you in the next video.